We're taking our regular tour around Disney's California Adventure, but this time with a twist. It's Grad Night, and now I'm wondering how that's going to affect the park. I can't wait. We're going to go to every land, check in on every attraction. This is our State of DCA report. I gotta say, normally I open up these shows with an expectation of, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to finding out what this day reveals, but today it's going to be kind of a mystery. I don't know what to expect. This is a first for me, I believe, Grad Night tonight here at DCA. I've never actually been in the park this close to an actual Grad Night festivity. They happen here at DCA. The actual party starts at 9. That's when they close the park up, and I'm going to be here right up until then. I'm going to be here until probably 7 o'clock tonight. We're getting a late start, 4 o'clock in the afternoon as I record this on a Friday. And I don't know what to expect. This is going to be fascinating. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be at DCA on a Grad Night, we're going to find out together. 4:30, actually, as we record this on a late Friday afternoon. Good energy coming out of Buena Vista Street right now as we take our vibe check down this street. Much of that has to do with the fact that they just wrapped the Better Together parade for Pixar Fest. Much maligned parade, as it were. I think it's great. I mean, it's not the best parade in the whole wide world. I would never, put it up against Magic Happens or Paint the Night, but it's a good serviceable parade. It's a temporary parade. It's not a full-time permanent parade. Although I would be fine if they did decide to make that a full-time parade, but that's another conversation perhaps for another day. Let's get into the park. Let's take a little walk around here, around Buena Vista Street, and Carthay Circle. And I can feel there's a lot of folks here this afternoon right now in this space. I actually was in Disneyland for most of the afternoon. Spent about 3 or 4 hours there earlier today, including some excellent views of the Haunted Mansion from the Mark Twain. I hope you guys caught our construction report already. First time we had a chance to do that. I hope I get another chance to do that again someday. But anyway, the park was okay. It was okay in Disneyland. It wasn't too busy. It was kind of like another one of those days we've been seeing in the State of Disneyland reports. A couple observable wait times. I saw Dumbo. The queue was completely empty there. Indiana Jones was like 45 minutes, so it was a nice, pleasant day. But enough of that Disneyland talk. Let's get this party started proper here at California Adventure and head into the back lot, Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood Land. Did you guys hear the news, by the way? Or the news that reported anyway on Fresh Bake Presents about Bob Iger's comments regarding Disneyland Forward. I feel like people are not paying enough attention to the words that Bob Iger used in that statement. The words being Avatar Experience, Pandora, Expansion, and Disneyland Forward, all in the same breath. Second executive to do that. That's what I mentioned in that news report. Second executive to do that. They're making a point of attaching Avatar to Disneyland Forward. I don't see how we can, and even in spite of that, I still have people, no, I think it's going in Tomorrowland, or I think it's going in Grizzly Peak. Like, come on, what more do you want? Other than he practically said they're putting Avatar in Grizzly Peak. I mean, not Grizzly Peak. And Disneyland Forward. I mentioned that because obviously we're heading into, hey, how are you? We're heading into Hollywoodland, or rather we're in Hollywoodland, and now heading into the Hollywood backlot, one of the talked about locations for Disneyland Forward and for the Avatar Experience. By the way, when you talk about expansion and you're saying, hey, they should get rid of the Hollywood backlot and put Avatar here, when you say that, do you mean, I'm asking everybody, just this or this plus this? Because there's actually a big difference. It's a huge different conversation. This space right here is tiny. It's really, really tiny. It's not near enough, big enough. I mean, adding this to it is not great either. I think I did a Google Earth, acreage measurement here. And if you include all that space back there, including the Hyperion, everything down to Carthay Circle, and then everything in the back lot, including the studio buildings right here, it's 10 acres. It's 10 acres. Cars Land is 10 acres. And Cars Land, to me, is not a big land. And I don't think, well, Pandora at Animal Kingdom is 14 acres. So I don't think, even if you do that, it's big enough. But as we talked about in our previous State of DCA report, maybe it can be, with the Disneyland board approval, if you can knock down these walls over here and extend this land out into the transportation hub out there, the transportation plaza where the bus drop-offs are. If you can sort of subsume some of that acreage, then maybe you got something. But all that fails, if you ask me, all that fails for a lot of reasons, because there's a lot of hoops to jump through, not to mention the fact that it just doesn't look right here in this space, in my opinion, putting it right next to Hollywood like that, and then again right next to Avengers Campus. You're going to drop, I mean, I know that there's that idea you can put the portal and you can kind of travel through time and space, etc. Okay, but still, I don't like it, especially when there's an available option for you to just drop it in the Simba parking lot. I heard some whooping and hollering back here. What do we got? I haven't been to DCA at all in 2 weeks, so sometimes I forget that they're still in the middle of Pixar Fest. I'm looking at hangar management right now. I'm kind of hangry, but we're gonna wait. I'm gonna try to get something to eat a little later. Let's go do our first bit of recon. Let's go check out Monsters Inc. Posted at 30 minutes as we arrive, so that's our first bit of good news. It's not bonkers, although that queue is not optimal. I do not like that one bit. I do not like that at all for standby, and I almost want to turn around and give up already. And by the way, they're posted. I talk a lot about how you don't want to see standby leaning or sitting. It's even worse if you see lightning lane leaning or sitting. That ain't good at all. As for the back of this standby queue, also not good. Posted 30 with a huge lightning lane queue, and we're still using, what, 80%? Just these last two, or this last plan of these last two sections not being used. I don't like that for these guys at all. That 30-minute wait is going to turn into 45 or 50, almost for sure. I would love to be able to measure this one. I don't know if I can. Well, we'll see, possibly. If I'm in the neighborhood here in the next 40 or 50 minutes, we'll come back and check and see if my speculation is correct. But I'm guessing that that 30 minutes that's still there now is not going to last very long. Let's keep moving. Actually, we got to bounce. We got to bounce out of the Hollywood backlot. They're having a copyright monster attack in there. I gotta get out of that scene before this whole video goes to heck. Hooray for Hollywood, still waiting for some kind of sign from the Hyperion. I was asked yesterday in our live stream if I had heard anything about Rogers the Musical coming back, or anything really happening here at the Hyperion, and the answer is no. Haven't heard anything official from Disney, haven't even heard a rumor. Nothing, not even close. Not even a whisper. And I don't even have any visual clues. Remember that one time I was talking about how, hey, look, the stanchions are out. And the stanchions gotta mean, all right, hey guys, hi guys. The stanchions gotta mean something, right? Because why would they have stanchions out there if they're not expecting a queue? And then they took the stanchions down. Okay, now that's really, really confusing, you guys. That is really interesting. 2 weeks ago, there were no stanchions here at all. And today, they're back. I could get in, let's get in the queue. We're gonna get in the queue for the Hyperion Theater. For what purpose? Who knows? But certainly there are no shows scheduled, but they put the stanchions back. And there's definitely nothing happening here as far as Pixar Fest goes. That was not a thing. Unless they had another event. perhaps they had another similar event where they're, queuing up and they're having, something inside the Hyperion. I don't know. I sure do wish they'd stop messing around. I sure do wish they would get serious and put something. This place needs Rogers the Musical. Something needs to happen here at the Hyperion Theater. I mean, Rogers would be ideal for me. I feel like that's the best fit. But literally, I mean, what was the one we were talking about last time? It was, hey, how are you guys? How are you? Turning Red. I would love to see a Turning Red show here. That'd be great. Although it doesn't really fit with Avengers Campus. But, I mean, honestly, who cares at this point?
Well, this is no time for games.
I know that. Crying needs to side. It's still not it. Got it. See? Everything's under control. Let's see what we got here. Yes. There you are.
Well, that's what we came back for.
I think Star-Lord needs to speak to the back of the house. I couldn't hardly hear him. I can hear that music there. More reason to get out of here again. That ain't copyright friendly. All right, that thread is passed. Let's take a look at Mission Breakout, where the posted wait time right now is 60 minutes. I can already tell you right now, it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out that ain't right. I'm looking at a very empty Lightning Lane queue out here. Nothing happening back there in the proper Lightning Lane section back there, the bullpen. Let's take a look at the standby. We'll curl around, but I can see right through the fence right now. That is not at all a dense queue. Yeah, man, that's maybe 30 or 40% full, that queue right now. They're using just this one section. We'll take a peek in there inside the queue proper, but we can see there's maybe just one switch back there, or two, I should say, and then another one back there at the end. But the rest of that queue is unoccupied. That might be the goest queue I've seen since we started doing State of DCA reports here at Mission Breakout. Posted 60, which is great, because that's still a strong signal for people not to come down here. People are going to look at and wait and watch the app, and when they see it go down to 45, it'll already be too late. If you're here, hopefully and you're looking at that 60, and you're looking at that Lightning Lane queue, and you're looking at the standby, you're getting in that queue right now. That's a 20-minute wait, 20 or 30 minutes. The only possible monkey wrench in that plan would be if they're not running all three elevator shafts, but I stood there for a little bit actually and watched, and I saw all three open up. So that's a really good sign as well. Dang, man, great opportunity. On our way, I can note a fairly typical crowd here. About the right amount of people just kind of milling about. And as we approach Web Slingers, I can see that it is a 40-minute standby wait time right now. 40 minutes. And the visuals look good too. Look at that. Nothing in here. Love to see that. Can we keep going? Should we? I don't see any queue. I think I'm going to actually take a peek this time, because I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if it's a posted 40 and this is the whole queue right there. Okay, so they are using this space back here. That makes me feel a lot more confident in that 40-minute wait time. But still, that's pretty good. I kind of like the looks of this queue too. We're just using that one section back there, the bullpen, but the crowd is moving pretty briskly. There's some movement there. I like that there's hardly anybody in Lightning Lane. In fact, that other queue there to the right on the other side of the wall, that's actually single rider, which has no impact at all on standby. So that's kind of another, at least that's a semi-go. Looking good so far. I was going to come over here and check in on Doctor Strange to see if there was any shows happening, if anybody was waiting, but I could hear the Doctor. So we're mid-show, and it is full. could kind of just roll up here on the side, perhaps. I remember scouting this once before. Nope, you can't see over here. Can you see from the other side? Not really. There's really no place to ninja a shot. There he is. There's the doctor. Oop. He just summoned the power of Ashanti. Oh, it's Captain Marvel. Close the door, Doctor.
Dr. Strange speaks a lot more.
Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, well, that makes one of us. I am thoroughly confused. Why are you here?
He was trying to summon the spectral staff. But instead of getting the spectral staff to save the world, he got Captain Marvel holding a vase or an urn of some kind. The hijinks. And this is why you come to Avengers Campus for shows like Doctor Strange. Some people don't consider that value. It's rides or nothing. And then you got the chance to meet Thor, the mightiest Avenger. I just saw one of the Eternals over here, I think. You can constantly see a show up here. The food is good. You know what? Are the Wolverines here? We could check out Pym Test Kitchen. That's a new addition. What timing, right? Let's see what, it's 5 o'clock right now, 5:19, as we head into Pym Test Kitchen. Let's see how the crowd looks in here. Not bad at all. That's about a 5-minute wait. Place your order. Another 5 minutes to get it. No time at all. Hey, how are you? Good, good. Get yourself a giant pretzel. Actually, they have mini pretzels now. I wish I were a little hungry right now and maybe had some pretzel and a beer, but I don't know how big they actually are, but now they're called mini pretzels. There's the big giant pretzel, and then there's also I'm gonna stop talking. I know I'm probably a broken record on this, but an Avengers fan can have themselves a day here at Avengers Campus. Even if you're not big on web slingers, it's still a good experience. It's still a fun thing to do, and especially if you love Spider-Man. Everybody loves Spider-Man. I really enjoy Avengers Campus. I regret once more to not spending more time here because I'm just so busy doing other things, but Avengers Campus is a good time, man. It's a really good time. Oh, look, it's Spidey. Wow, what are the odds? Hey, Spidey, what are you doing here?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Spider-Man.
How can you not be into that, right? Just minding my own business, walking around, and Spider-Man comes into the frame. That's great. 5:25, and Cars Land is next. And I have a feeling we're gonna get more of the same. I'm gonna predict 10, 25, and 60 for Radiator Springs Racers. That's my prediction. Let's see how we do. And no, I did not cheat. We just walked in fresh. There's Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. We'll do this in one shot for you too. Here we go, 10 minutes. And there's the queue, which is very 10-minute E. That's nothing, man. And they're running both sides, so you're in good shape here. Always. Hi! Always an easy time to enjoy Radiator Springs, to enjoy Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Super duper easy. To once again, I just don't understand. I can't figure how it's possible that ride always has such a short wait when it's clearly very fun. It's not exactly a quick loader. Hey, how are you? Not exactly a ninja selfie here as we're walking down Route 66. It's not exactly like a fast loader. I mean, it's certainly quicker than Luigi's, but it's not like, it doesn't even compete with Monsters in terms of how many people it can cycle. Monster cycles more guests than Mater's would. I'm almost positive of that. And we're gonna keep rolling here. I wanna try to keep this as clean as possible, so I'm not gonna do a lot of B-roll in this section because I wanna see how close I was. I'm really anxious and curious. There's Flo's. Maybe we'll pop in there when I'm done doing this bit, see how Flo's is doing at 5:27 p.m. Okay. All right, I think I might be wrong here because I'm seeing a big number on that sign. Oh my God, I'm seeing people in the queue too. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't understand. I don't understand how this ride can pull 40 minutes worth of guests. And that is at least 40 minutes. If you're out here, don't get in this queue. If you see the queue out here, unless it's like a super incredibly busy day where everything's busy, but the park is not that busy, you shouldn't be getting in this queue. Because if you're lucky, that's 40 minutes. If you're lucky, things got to go in your favor for that to happen. That kills my vibe now for any hope of Radiator Springs Racers being 60, because if a Luigi's is 40, then I would be rough to see Radiator Springs at anything less or 60 or less. 65. All right, I'm gonna call that a win, you guys. I'm gonna call that a win. I nailed it on the Maters. I was off by a little on. I was just surprised. You don't hardly ever see Luigi's at 40, and then 65 at Radiator Springs Racers. And all that is based on just the general vibe, the amount of density that I'm feeling in the parks, and it's kind of an underrated thing. And it's something that requires some reps, I guess. You know, you got to come to the park a few times to kind of get that feeling. But you know, what I'm looking for is our nuanced variables in the park, particularly how difficult is it really? How hard is it for you to walk in a straight line? Can you walk in a straight line when you're heading through Fantasyland, or as I'm, heading? Oh, I guess Route 66 is kind of a wide street, but the more you have to maneuver to get around people, that starts to make me feel like it's busier and busier. But I'm walking quite freely here down Route 66. You know what? Let's go check in on the Cozy Cove Motels. I'm going to see how busy those cones are, and then we'll go check Flo's VA Cafe. Too bad so far. The churro stand looks like it's doing okay. Couple guests trying to get churros there. The ice cream cones, always popular. And it's actually, the day is warming up. It's getting a little toasty here in the late afternoon. Coke queso. Wow. What has Coke queso got? It's just, oh, they've got the Luigi and Guido cone at Coke queso. Concoctions not really doing much at all, and they don't really have much to offer today. But Popcone is still pulling guests. There's 10, 12 people in that queue, still trying to get that, it's that flatbread with chicharrones on it. That's very popular, it seems. I don't hear people talking about that on social, but the line speaks for itself. I may have to go look in on that. I may have to find some time to investigate that. Maybe on our next State of DCA. It's part of Pixar Fest, so that should be happening for a little while there. I gotta check. Oh my gosh, the kiosks are up now. The Pixar Fest kiosks where I can get the coal nut. Not today though. Can't do it today. I'm not even hungry. As for Flo's V8 Cafe, it is now 5:44. That's pretty standard standby right now. Not bad at all. I mean, well, I should say compared to what I've seen in the past, it can be close to the door there. So, I mean, that's probably still 30 minutes. You're looking at 30 minutes. Right now, you can get a mobile order in 20, and your food will be waiting for you. It'll just be right there. Just place your mobile order, pick it up at aisle 5, and you're good to go. And no doubt, Flo's V8 Cafe is one of the best dining experiences you can have here at DCA. The food is kind of average. It's okay. The chicken is actually it's Plaza Inn chicken. I'm sure it must be. The cheeseburger's okay. I do like the ham sandwich, the low and slow. That's pretty good. Great value there too, by the way. But the best part about Flo's is lots of places to sit. Especially you can sit out there on the terrace with a view of Radiator Springs Racers going by, and you get some really chill music to listen to. I have spent an hour here just having lunch more than on a few occasions because you just get so comfortable and you're like, this is nice. I just want to be here for a little while. And that's the way when it comes to reviewing food for me, anyway, at the parks, we just did a food review. We reviewed every single quick service dining location. And it's good for people, not just people who are new to the park or who want to know more about dining here at Disneyland, but for some of the vets too, because for me it's more about the experience, or it's as much about the experience as it is the food. So while the food might be okay, I still might love eating there. Take Refreshment Corner, for example. It's okay, it's all right, but man, do I love having a pizza, or a pretzel and a Coke at the end of the night at a Jolly Holiday, or just having some of those chili fries that will take you back to your Little League days. Is anybody else like me? When you see Fritos with chili and cheese, do you think Little League baseball? That's what I think. I forget what they called them back then. There was a name for it. And man, I used to love that. And they would serve them in a bag, just like they do at Refreshment Corner. They serve them in a little bag. It's great. And it looks like we found ourselves at San Fransokyo, another great place to eat. Let's pick up the vibe there. Wow, unexpected. I don't think I've ever seen that many empty tables at San Fransokyo or even Pacific Wharf ever. Never have I seen that many empty tables. Although I feel like today's day, this data is probably going to be thrown out. This is, for grading at a curve, it's on the other side of the bill, right? It's an outlier. Both for the fact that it's a grad night and also because of the time we're shooting this. It is, as I've been saying, it's now 5:58, which is just 3 hours before closing. So I feel like there is already probably a certain percentage of guests flowing out of the park, out of here and heading over to Disneyland, which closes at midnight. So they're done here-ish. And really, DCA is not an all-day park anyway. So you get here early on a grad night, do DCA for the first 5 or 6 hours maybe, and then you head over to Disneyland. So I don't want to read too much into the fact that there are empty tables. There are empty tables everywhere in here, man. And the wait times we've seen. You know what? Speaking of wait times, let's go check that tip point. To quote whoever it is that says that line on the Disneyland Railroad as you pass the Hungry Bear and you're making your way to the rivers of America, this is my favorite part of the journey. It's beautiful, right? It's really beautiful. It's delightful. Delightful! Let's go. Where are we at? Golden Zephyr. Confirmed. Closed. I'm looking at it. Goofy Sky School, 30 minutes. With a return time in less than an hour. Again, we're going to have to throw this data out, I guess, maybe. Grizzly River Run, 25 minutes. Return time of almost now. Guardians of the Galaxy is at 45, so it did go down from that 60 we saw. I'm not even sure if it's still 45. That queue was less than 45 when we stopped by there, but that does confirm that. Genie Plus is no longer being offered because they sold out and they're closing here in a couple hours. Incredicoaster at 35. There goes some screamers right now. Return time of now. Oops, sorry. Emotional Whirlwind 15. Jesse's 5. Jumpin' Jellyfish 10. Little Mermaid 5. I just turned around. The queue looks completely empty. Luigi's went down to 20. Interesting. We saw it at 40. That's a queue to stay away, so that people stop getting in that queue, I guess. Mater's is down to 5. What is it about Mater's? Somebody help me. It's like my favorite ride at DCA, and it's never full, ever. It's never busy. Mike Asali is still at 35, although I disagreed with that assessment when I was there. But it has maintained that, and the return time is now for Genie Plus, which is unusual. Pal-A-Round is 30 minutes. I don't know if we'll have time for that today, but I'm looking at the queue across the way and it looks kind of empty, you guys. It looks kind of empty. Raider Springs Racers is down to 50. Silly Symphony is 10. I was just thinking, we didn't even go in there and look at the queue, did we? Because I was doing that thing where I was trying to guess. So we didn't even really analyze the queue. Soarin is 50. Return time of now. Toy Story is 30. I can't see the queue from here, but we'll check that out, obviously. I just saw Turtle Talk with Crush, man. You know how long it's been since I've seen Turtle Talk with Crush? It's been a while. Web Slingers is closed, and there you go. Take care. Let's go to Pixar Pier. Which I don't mind saying, I kind of love. Used to hate it. I kind of love it now. Pixar Pier is great. Oh man, I need a Pixar Pier parfait. There's some winners right there. You guys, great job. Love it. That was some great looking stuff down there, man. And it doesn't look too busy down there at first glance. I'm not seeing any kind of buildup anywhere. Like for starters, you would often see single rider queue up all the way back here. Yeah, single rider's just got a handful of guests in it right now, maybe 6 or 7 guests out here getting ready to go into that. Look, and they're ready for more. And you know what, by the way, I will have to say, I'm not really feeling a major presence of the Grad Night crowd. Obviously, there are a lot of teenagers about, a lot of grads hanging around, but it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm here on a Grad Night. This is terrible. It's not even bad at all. It's kind of less than normal. It's almost enjoyable, I dare say. So there's a bit of standby over here for a credit coaster. So there is a presence. Looks like it's posted at 35. Oh wow, yeah, it's pretty heavy in there. 35-minute posted standby. Not a lot of action back here in Lightning Lane. There's maybe 10, 15 guests there in Lightning Lane right now. Not bad. I mean, there's no reason to leave right now, right? If I were here, this would be great conditions. I am completely unbothered by, whatever the Grad Night energy is. The crowd, the queues are great. The queues are nice. It's not at all, crowded or dense here. I feel at ease. I say these things because there is a aura around those nights where, folks of my age are like, those kids, I don't know. It's kind of nothing. Am I overreading this or underreading this? I'm not sure, but it can't be, I don't know, man. It's just kind of normal. And it's not like they're kicking you out super early. 9 o'clock, it's just an hour shy of the normal closing time. They normally close here at DCA at 10 p.m. Never after that. It's never closed later than 10. So you're losing just an hour, which, by the way, that hour is not very well attended anyway. And we've arrived at Toy Story Midway Mania. Hi, with a posted standby of 45 minutes. And although I am seeing, quite a few guests queuing up out here in the exterior part of the queue, and that makes the interior part full, that's the lead story right there. Nothing. Fantastic. Now we are late in the day, and it is later in the day when you might experience that situation where, because there's not a lot of attractions here at DCA. Not a lot. Most of the attractions, all the good ones here pretty much, are on Lightning Lane. but there's not a lot in general, so you can burn through all of your lightning lanes quickly. I did a speed run here once where we did every ride in the park by, I want to say it was 12:30, 1 o'clock. And that was, I used all the lightning lanes in that amount of time. So it doesn't take a lot of effort to get through them all. So it could be, if you get here in the later part of the day, on just any average DCA day, you might have that experience where some of the attractions they don't have a buildup of people waiting for lightning lane like you do at Disneyland because the park stays open until midnight. And there's significantly more rides to get through, in a day. Not just lightning lane attractions, although there are more lightning lane attractions there. You have other rides, other things to do. Here at DCA, your things to do are the lightning lane attractions, which is why I've often said, I'm going on now, which is why I've often said DCA and lightning lane is almost mandatory. Especially on anything that's remotely a busy day, it's almost mandatory. That is just one heck of a piece of themed eatery right there. The Angry Dogs. I walk by here, I'm like, I want an Angry Dog. I really, really want an Angry Dog right now. I want to get an Angry Dog. Anytime I can remember, I like to talk about the fact that they used to have varying degrees of ketchup, like how hot your ketchup was. And now it's just regular ketchup and then kind of displeased mustard. Degrees of hot mustard. Anyway, it's been a long time, but I don't get to share that bit of info anymore. But when Angry Dogs first opened, there was, I want to say, four or five different levels of angry in your condiments. Maybe, I guess people weren't using them, and that's why they got rid of it. I guess people just go for regular ketchup and mustard, right? Speaking of the state of things, can we talk for a minute about the state of the Boardwalk games? There's Wally. Nobody's playing. Nobody's playing Heimlich's candy corn toss right now.
They closed it down already, but on the back that one says
Bullseye Stallion Stampede has been busier. Completely forgot about La Luna. And I guess everybody else has, including Disney. What? Is this a thing? What's going on with La Luna? What is the state of Boardwalk games? Is this still a good business decision here on the Boardwalk? I mean, it's an extra bit of revenue, $5 per game, $5 per token. But some of those games are completely impossible. Heimlich's is next to impossible. At least you have a guaranteed winner at Bullseye and Wally because it's a race, so there's going to be a winner. But Bullseye, that's impossible. and then obviously, and the Luna game, which you automatically won, but it's a tiny little star thing. I don't know, man. But what else can you do here that fits the theme of the Boardwalk and uses up so little space because they don't take up hardly any space at all? But I just gotta wonder, does Disney wish they had a plan B for that part of the Boardwalk? I bet they do. Hey, look, we've arrived at the Pixar Pal-A-Round. Let's check it out. We're looking at the back of the non-swinging gondola queue, which is posted at 20. And once more, I have forgotten the math on that, but that's just about 20. That corner right there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is about 20 minutes. So that you're good to go there. When I was across the way looking at the back of the queue, I didn't see anybody here, which is always nice. You never want to see any guests on that side. And then non-swinging is posted at 30. And that's about a 30-minute queue. It looks like we got some Grad Nighters showing up, so the party's getting ready to start. This space, this park is almost entirely occupied by young folk right now. Oh man, do you guys remember being in high school? Do you remember? I graduated from high school 37 years ago, and I still remember it like it was yesterday, mostly because of the trauma. I don't know about you guys, but I did not have a good 4 years in high school, not in the least. But I feel pretty good about things today, so I got that going for me. But man, high school, that's such an awkward time, man. For me, at least, it was. Emotional whirlwind. 10 minutes is the posted wait time. And so it shall. We cracked the code on this one not long ago. That's about 10 minutes, yeah. What you're looking at there is a couple cycles. It's about a 4-minute cycle. Well, actually it might be 3 cycles because I see some queue down here as well. So that could be 3 cycles. Let's see, you got one up there already. You can fit 1, 2, maybe 4 cycles actually. Yeah, so that could be 15 or 20 minutes. But I mean, I don't think I need to see any more. I don't think I need to see any more to make the decision that Grad Night at DCA is a good idea. Go to DCA on a Grad Night. At least this one. This one has been a delight, man. Oh, look.
Oh my gosh!
They sent us through Paradise Garden. So I thought I would stop by here at the Paradise Garden Grill and note that there's no waiting here at all to get yourself some food. I mean, it's getting kind of late now. What are we talking about? 6:40. It smells good. It smells really good. Let's see if we can. Oh, you know what? This is a great opportunity to cover once more the effect that a parade has on standby, especially at a nearby attraction. You put an attraction right in the path, like Matterhorn. You put an attraction right in the path of a parade and watch what happens when the parade is done. So right now, I would expect there to be very little wait for Goofy Sky School.
The sadness stays in the circle.
The sadness stays in the circle. Yeah, it's posted right now at 30 minutes, and it's not even that. We can see that there's no queue out here, which it has often been the case lately where they've been out here in the garden. But this is about what I've expected. That's a 10 or 15 minute wait. There's very little lightning lane. That's the back of the queue right there. Those graduates are right there in that queue. And this is the back of the queue right now for standby. That's maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And if, especially it'll be the case where this queue triples, if they lower the wait time, if they do adjust the posted wait time down from that. And you know, it's funny, I don't know what it is about Goofy Sky School, but this is often the site of a case study. I am often using Goofy Sky School to illustrate the dynamics of how queues live and breathe and the ecosystem that they exist in. But this always winds up being a place where I can observe and watch things happen. It's a very fluid, very hyperactive queue, Goofy Sky School is. So while we're gonna chill out and let this parade cool out, but right now it's still posted at 30. When this is done, we're gonna watch the crowd fill in that standby queue. Oh my God, the queue is almost empty now. Look at that. So now the back of the queue is up the ramp a little bit, and they're just, hey, how are you? They're just waiting for, you give that 2 minutes and that queue will be gone. And nobody's getting in because anybody who's in the neighborhood is gonna watch the rest of this parade, right? You're gonna say, hey, hold on, let's catch this before we get on our next ride. So it just soaks up all kinds of guests, and you get very little foot traffic into a parade adjacent queue. 6:46. A couple minutes later, there's the back of the queue, just where we left it, almost empty. That's not even a 5-minute wait. There's Mike and Sully. That's the back of the Better Together parade. They did not adjust the standby. They left it at 30, which is probably wise, because it's, that's going to be closer to accurate than the 5 or 10 minute adjustment they would make if they were trying to keep it up. But now, so the guests are going to say, hey, what's the nearest queue? And they're going to look at Goofy Sky School and make a run for it. So that was about a 4-minute time lapse. And the back of the queue is now it's down to the bottom of the ramp and curling around a little bit. I mean, this is still a very good queue to get in. Not saying you shouldn't get in this queue, but you can see the immediate effects. It's been now 10 minutes since the parade ended, and about 5 of that was spent doing that time lapse. 10 minutes total, I guess. And this would be certainly more accentuated if we were during a regular business day as opposed to nearing the end of a grad night. It's really quite fascinating. If you ask me, it's the kind of thing I live for. It's the kind of thing I live for. I could do this all day. I am the Captain America of queue science. Golden Zephyr is still closed, and I am willing to bet that Little Mermaid is still empty. 5 minutes. You can just kind of feel it. You can just kind of tell. I look at this space before me, and I can just say, this ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Yeah, I haven't even seen a single person. I was just looking. There's nobody in the queue right there. I haven't seen a single person getting into the Little Mermaid queue. Well, the way it should be. There's some right there. Okay, we found them. There they are. A few guests back here, though. Quite a few guests getting themselves a churro. A s'mores churro. Why did I say that with an H? I don't know. Redwood Creek Challenge. Still closed. But we do have a date. We're about a month away from Redwood Creek reopening. Okay. Grizzly River Run is posted at 40. Well, that doesn't seem right at all. That's Lightning Lane. I've never actually done this before. There's no way. That's the whole queue right there. Oh no, there is some going back down that way. But look at their moving, man. 40 minutes? I don't think so. Half that. Yeah, I guess that did pick. There's a few more guests back here. I wasn't expecting it to be back here. It's kind of chilly, but the queue did. Wow, man, that's pretty busy actually for what is presently a chilly early evening. Although I guess there's probably not going to be a whole lot of new guests getting in this queue right now. I saw some. Oh, they're going. You know, I have never been. Never in my life have I been in this part of the queue, ever. That's kind of wild, don't you think? So, it's not half that, but I don't think it's 40 either, especially because you're not going to get any competition from Lightning Lane right now. I thought they were fixing that geyser. We've got a permit. We showed a permit for it and everything. That specific geyser was being worked on. We saw the, the setup for it and everything. You could see that they were working on it, but it is definitely not geysering. I have yet to see that. I haven't seen that thing geyser in a long time. We've arrived at Soarin' Around the World, our last stop on this State of DCA report. No Lightning Lane here. That's about what I was expecting considering what we've seen throughout the day. Standby queue is posted at 25. It looks a lot like the queue we saw in our last update. I mean, this is pretty much where you're at here at the end of the day. Is a pretty easy time. What is it? It's 7:08. We are now starting the last 2 hours of the park's time here. But I could feel, things are receding for the last hour or two. It's kind of a secret weapon. DCA, like the last 3 or 4 hours, on a night where it closes at 10, get here at like 4, arrive at 4, spend 4 hours here, maybe 5, then go to Disneyland and spend another 4 hours there, maybe 3, depending if you're here till 9 at DCA. But this is as good as you're going to get standby wise. This is as good as it's going to get competition wise. This is a breeze. You could demolish this park right now. you could get so much done. And it's still, like I said, there's still 2 hours to go. And it's not even a problem with Grad Night, but that's a separate conversation. But I just mean in general. I feel like if you were to get here on a regular 10 o'clock closing night, get here at like 4, spend 4 hours here, maybe 5, you could do most of the park in that time. Right? Because I'm not here in the park at this time of day very often, so this is kind of a new thing for me. I'm more of a rope drop guy. And DCA in the morning and in mid-afternoon can be bonkers. It really can be. There we go, guys. We're back on Buena Vista Street. We've come full circle. The show has come to a close. What a fun day here at DCA. What an enlightening, interesting day. We have concluded that Grad Night's no big deal. No big deal at all. Not even tripping, but there are a lot of young folk streaming into the park right now. A lot of young folk. But they, it feels like a regular day. It doesn't feel any different than any other day in terms of the energy and the mood. It's great. It's great. Support us on Patreon at patreon.com/freshbaked. Follow us on Instagram at _freshbaked, on Twitter at freshbakedisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at freshbakedisney. If you like our show, and I did it again, thanks for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.